Hey everybody, new comic book day. I had the day off again, so I ran to the couple places. The place I have my pool box at where I got that marginally overpriced copy of 2001, and the owner was there today, and we kind of talked about it a little bit, and the reason why he charged me what he charged me was because he was speculating incorrectly about Machine Man. He had the impression that he was going to be in the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and that was why the book was hot, at least for him, because he had another copy and he sold it to the guy that publishes Comic Shop News. I don't know if you guys get that or it's just a regional thing or what, but yeah, that's why he inflated the price on me. And I told him that I thought it was a little overpriced, and he gave me a deal on some books. Nothing great. I mean, I did pick up some cool stuff today, but I didn't get it at that store. But yeah, let's run through this real quick. Okay, so, but then we started talking about like the speculation market and how would you, from a business standpoint, run the business where you have to. I mean, that sounds like a nightmare, having to keep track of the trends and everything else. And this guy had no idea, like, what was quote-unquote hot right now, or, like, big sellers and everything. So I shared the experiences that I've been getting here with him about, like, how it seems like there's trends. You know, you'll see, like, one book in somebody's video one day, and then the next day it's like everybody over the weekend bought the same book. You know, like last week, it seemed I saw more copies of like Hulk 104 than I have ever. And then like what is it? Incredible Hulk 377, the one with the Del Keown cover, and it's the third or fourth printing's worth more than the rest of them. And it seems like everybody's into like your older Moon Knight stuff, or maybe it's just, you know, we see something in somebody's video and it kind of sparks an interest, so we pull out our stuff. And that's one of the cool things about the community. But I mean, it got me thinking about like the comic book speculation market is. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think the prices of some of these books. In a couple years, are they going to be? Are you going to get a return on your investment if you did this as an investment? I mean, like we talked about Brian K. Vaughan, for example, and how Saga is like crazy hot, but you look back at Y the Last Man. I mean, Saga's great. Y the Last Man is amazing. And you go online and you're looking for copies of Y the Last Man, and you can go back to when they announced that there was a movie in the works, like 2 years ago. And that created that boom. That doesn't make the content any better or any worse, or it just kind of seems arbitrary. So if they make a movie, the price is going to go back up, and it's going to balloon, and then it's going to die down again. I mean, it's not like there's books that are worth something, rightfully so. Avengers 4, Incredible Hulk 181, you know, first appearance of Swamp Thing, stuff like that. But then you look at, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and if I'm wrong or you guys just think I'm full of shit, then say, hey, you're wrong or you're full of shit. Let's just start a debate here. But you look at like, I mean, do you think in like 5 years anybody's going to care about Saga, for example, or Afterlife with Archie? I mean, Afterlife with Archie is great. Everybody should be reading. I mean, it's amazing. It's better than I think everybody thought it was going to be. But when that's all said and done, and it goes in everybody's boxes, and they forget about it, I mean, sure, it's got a limited print run, and it's trendy, and it's popular, and excuse me, you're tapping into the market that goes back to Walking Dead, but we could talk about Walking Dead all day. But I mean, if books were expensive off their content, then every issue of Watchmen would be $100, at least, right? Because we could probably, let's just say, popular opinion, or, 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 single issue books. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's other examples. You know, people have done amazing things, but as far as the bar goes, that set it for a while. Okay, and everybody, going back to what I just said, and I'm probably going to delete this because I think I'm rambling. But look at like Frank Miller's Daredevil stuff. You know, you have like the Death of Elektra and the Bullseye. Those books at one point were like $40-$60. I saw a copy today of the first appearance of Bullseye in the box. Guy was asking like $12. I mean, I don't know what they're going for on eBay. Excuse me, but I mean, I can guarantee it's not what it was after the Daredevil movie came out. You know, it's crazy. And the only reason I even really started working on or thinking about this is because I was working on my X Factor run. I got down to 2 books on the first series. It was like issue number 6 and issue number 44. And I'm like, this is the worst time for me to have to pick up an issue 6. Because this book is just like crazy, stupid hot right now. And I don't really understand why, because it's not really even the first appearance of Apocalypse. But that's regardless. It's just... speculation is cool, I guess, if you find that hot book, and I've done this. That copy of DMZ that I found in a dollar bin, I put on eBay. I made like $22, I think, is what it sold, 21 something. And I have a couple copies of that Madonna comic book I went back to the shop and I picked up that I was telling you guys about in my comic speculation video. I'm gonna put those on eBay. Excuse me, but you know, if I get more than what I paid for them, then that's fine. And if somebody out there wants to pay the 90, 80, whatever, $70 for that, that's fine too. I'll just invest it in something else. But it just kind of seems irresponsible, because this all sounds like the same thing that happened in the 90s. You had the gimmick covers and the hot books that like sold out, and you know, I don't know, it just seemed like all that calmed down for a while, and all of the, not the collectors, but the speculators, like left the hobby. And I'm pretty sure everybody thought that was a good idea, because you had these books that up to that point were high dollar books that you could get relatively cheap or inexpensive, or, you know. But then you have, I don't know, it just, I'm looking for opinions here, so let me know what you're thinking. But I digress. Sorry about the 7-8 minute rant. Let's get to the books. So, new stuff. I only picked up a couple of new issues. I think I got, Manifest Destiny. I picked up the new issue of Manifest Destiny. And I picked up the new issue of Six Gun. This is a double for me on Six Gun. But the first shop I went to, I was digging through the place with the overpriced, where I got my overpriced copy of 2001. And he gave me a deal on these. American Vampire, Survival of the Fittest. Scott Snyder, Sean Murphy. I'm really digging what he did, or at least art-wise in the Wake, so I'm looking forward to this, because this is a title I actually like. I got a couple of these. It's like 1, 2, or 1, 3, 4, and 5. I'm stoked. Picked up a copy of a Mega Man number one for $2. And then I got some Hulks. I only paid like $1 for the, or not the Hulk, the thing, sorry. I'm just kind of worked up about what we were talking about. Yeah, so I got some things. Pretty close to that. And I got X Factor 44. I paid $1 for this, I think, $2. Yeah, $2. And then the second place I went to, where I picked up my copy of Manifest Destiny, I picked up this. Now, I've been watching these on eBay. I knew it was coming because of how close I was to getting my X Factor run done. But they put this on the wall at one of the shops, and it did been sitting there and sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. And I finally pulled the trigger on it. And I only paid like $30 for this book. And part of the reason why I justified paying the $30 that I paid for this is because I've gotten such a great deal on the rest of my run of X Factor. Which is also kind of the reason why I wasn't too bummed out about paying more than probably wanted to for my 2001, because I think the rest of those issues I only paid like $2 or like $3. I think one was like $6. So you take the value of that run, or at least the value to me of that run, and then you throw in that, you know, it all works out. It's fine. But the same place that I found this, I found this. And this I'm pretty excited about too, because I've been eyeing these on eBay because I missed issue 1. This is the first printing. I think it didn't have the second printing thing on the inside of cover. But I paid cover for this. So, yeah, I found this in the box. And the guy's like, oh my god, I can't believe you found that. I was like, I know too. Right? He's like, if I would have seen it, I would have put it on eBay. But yeah, not so much about the books this time, folks. I'm sorry about that. Just kind of venting, because this is, the whole thing's kind of bugging me a little bit. Not bugging me, I'm just curious as to what you guys think. Because the guy at the shop, he was kind of ambivalent to the whole... He had no idea what was hot. You know, and we talked about print runs now versus the stuff in the 80s, and whether or not all our books from the 90s were going to be worth something eventually. You know, and it was a conversation that got me thinking. So I came home and plopped in my phone and sat on the floor, and now I'm asking you guys, because you're the people I talk to comic books about. So let me know your thoughts or your opinions or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go read these, and I did read through all of my Fatal, and I started on my Eternals finally. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys later.